Hi, this is Sarah from sarayip.com, Facebook The Numbers Queen, and Instagram sarayip1111, doing a little homemade video with Pastor Jon Owen from the Wayside Chapel in Potts Point / King's Cross. Hi, John.
Good afternoon, Sarah.
So it's a slightly awkward video because I'm holding it, but I don't know, it adds that level of heart. So John, how long have you been the pastor here?
I've been the pastor here since the end of November in 2016.
Wow, and so I just wanted to say also that I'm a donor to the Wayside Chapel, and I really encourage you to look them up. I'll put the link under here. But you know what? Jon's writing is phenomenal. You really need to read it. It will change your life in just like literally just a few words. The way you write, it's literally, it just goes straight through the soul. I mean, where did you learn to write like that?
It's a funny story. Have you got time?
Is it a really exciting story?
I was a terrible writer.
Oh wow, really?
And my mother was a beautiful writer.
Yeah.
And she was so upset at how badly I wrote that one day she submitted an essay to my teacher under my name that she'd written. And
Asian parents, hey?
Totally. And my teacher grabbed me in the hallway physically and said, "John," and I thought, oh, I'm busted. And she said, "That piece of writing is the best piece of writing I've ever read in my life."
Wow, that's a compliment.
And it wasn't mine.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? That could really set up a bit of a complex.
Well, then she submitted it to an essay contest. I shouldn't.
Oh my God! You know what? I've had the same thing happen, and I've never told anyone. Look at that. We're meant to meet today. We're like lifting things off our chest.
An award. And I had to accept the award. I mean, I could have just confessed, but I didn't. I panicked, and then
oh my God, you totally just outed your mum. I love that.
Totally just doubled down on the whole lie, and it won the award, and it got published, and I had to read it out in front of the whole school, and
my God.
And I just thought, oh my goodness. And then my teacher, as I was walking away from the award ceremony, looked at me and said, "Oh, I can't wait to see what you write next." And pressure. I was just filled with panic and pressure, and from that moment I began to work on writing.
That is amazing. What a great, fantastic moral story.
I think it's immoral.
That was the Sarah bad sarcasm.
But here you go. Here's the lesson for me. Is her belief in me unlocked a gift that wasn't even there.
Oh, I don't know. I'm feeling that maybe it was there, and you needed maybe to be sort of shocked into action. Sometimes we have these things, and they're sort of like frozen, and we need that. We just need that really powerful reason.
Look, and there's so much beauty and creativity in my family, musically.
Yeah.
They're able to. My siblings, my sisters can sing beautiful harmonies, and they all pick up instruments, and all of a sudden are able to play them beautifully. And I possess none of those, but I can express myself through writing and at times speaking. So there are creativity is the common thread through that in our family. So yeah, it's been quite the journey. And then I now would say writing well is a direct function of living well.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, writing is a homonym. It's a word that sounds the same as writing, R-I-G-H-T-I-N-G. And I always say when you write history, you can provide a more balanced perspective. And, the people who read are often the people in power, or those who would like to be in power, who are climbing up the ladder. And so you have to speak their language, and they want to know what's going on in the world. So that's why I wanted to be a journalist, which isn't quite what I did, but good on your mum, hey. Wow, she's a clever lady.
Very sneaky lady, my mother. And yeah, look, I think what I like to do is share stories. And there's a philosopher, Alistair McIntyre, that said, I can only begin to answer the question of what am I to do if I can first answer the question of what stories do I find myself a part.
Oh gosh, that's amazing. Wow. Well, so, honestly, I was recommended to read your blog by another blogger who's pretty famous. I have to find out who it was. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, as soon as I started reading your blog, my brain changed. I started to have like a lot more optimism towards the world being able to heal. And I can't explain it, but hopefully, I think I mentioned this to you, it'd be good if you could do a vlog, like read out one of your blogs, even if it was just a few paragraphs, because to see the person who created it, and even just to see your face, which is the face that comforts so many people day in, day out, that's infinitely even more powerful. But yeah, hey, that's me. Just push people into the
that's
spotlight.
good. Yeah, look, that's how I do it. If an Asian woman's pushing me, I tend to respond. Mum
Very
taught
funny.
me that much, and Grandma. It's look, I've never been that convinced that I have a voice for broadcast.
I reckon you could probably add a bit of comedy in there. I don't know. There's something about your voice that's a little bit like cheeky. But I wanted to mention, if it's okay, a little bit about your numbers, just super brief.
Sure.
So Jon privately shared his date of birth with me. This is actually, we've been pinging on email about this for years, actually. So Jon is a number 7. So the 7 is the spiritual teacher, also known as the eternal student. And they're healing the crown chakra in themselves and others, which is, the belief that we're holy and we're whole and we're complete. And also, just regaining faith in miracles. And you've relied on miracles to keep Wayside Chapel open in some ways. The everyday miracle of your people turning up, of people donating, and all the processes continuing.
Look, we only are here because of a beautiful relationship, social contract that we have in this neighbourhood and in the community of Bondi as well. And it's something that's quite powerful and tangible. We are woven into the narrative of this community, and they are woven into the narrative of us. And together we're able to do some really amazing things. And so I don't believe that there's anything as coincidences. We're being woven together, and it's our ability to step back and recognise those moments and to often be led to a place that's beyond words that is what really holds us together. In a neighbourhood that's surrounded by bricks and mortar, it's really the intangible things that and the spirit that holds us together.
Yeah, and just before this little interview we were talking about, there's just so much energy in the building. I felt it, like actually just walking maybe like half a kilometre away, I could feel this wave, and I actually felt really anxious, like I was going to a ball or something. And then I had a chance to meet quite a lot of people because I got here ridiculously early, which is funny because I'm never early for anything. But as I said to you, it feels like this whole organisation is full of very important people. And, you help a lot of people who are homeless or disadvantaged. But honestly, they just felt really very special souls, very special volunteers, you could say. And they were just lovely. We were totally looked after. They gave Ziggy some chocolate. And, I had a lovely time. And it's actually, I forgot where I was.
Yeah, and that's the goal, really, here. There's an Aboriginal activist author named Auntie Lila Watson who said that if you've come here to help me, you're wasting your time. But if you come here because somehow your liberation is tied up with mine, then come and let us walk together. And that's what we try and do here. We try and walk together, knowing that we're not here to save anyone, we're not here to fix anyone. But somehow there is a journey where two stories could touch, that we'll both leave. We'll both leave changed from these encounters, and the dogged belief and insistence on that has led to, us walking a path that's not often tread. We are not the kind of organisation that says, "Here's the problems, and the only thing that will solve it is your cash." Is we say, look, why don't you just start to let these stories seep into your soul and then come on board and join the fun?
Oh yeah, well, so I'm a regular donor, and I'm keen to keep promoting you. And obviously my background's in fundraising. I have a pretty good BS meter. Worked with a lot of charities, but this is a very productive charity. Everyone here is just giving with their whole heart and soul, and so you just know it's going to work. And even though I live in another state, I feel just a tangible connection, having almost been homeless myself a few times. And it's always something that you hide. And especially when you're Asian, it's not okay, right? But yeah, we're all looking for home.
Yeah.
And there's a beautiful saying I have on my fridge, home is where they understand you.
Yeah. And so for many, this place is the first home they've ever found. The Celtic mystics often speak of thin places, and they mean places where the veil between this world and the other world, the veil is particularly thin. And I sense that Wayside is one such thin place.
Absolutely, and it's funny because I knew Ziggy. My baby's about to come in here.
Yeah,
our interview's
I think we're wrapping up.
We are, but it's a very, very spiritual place, and there's a lot of super psychic folk here, a lot of old souls and master numbers. I could just feel it. So you're just doing an amazing job, and I look forward to our next interaction with some more good news. And do you want to quickly talk about the long march and then have to go?
The long walk home is something that we're all doing.
Oh gosh, totally
wrong. It's on the 7th of October, when we will, or the week of the 7th of October. The 7th is a Friday, and we will walk 28 kilometres, or you can do 7 days of 4 kilometres a day. 28 kilometres is roughly the distance someone who is sleeping rough has to walk to access basic services such as food, clothing, housing, applications. They will end up walking that distance. So on that one night, or over the course of the week if it suits you more, but on one night we're all going to get together in Parramatta Park and walk that 28 kilometres from Parramatta Park to the King's Cross Fountain.
It's incredible.
Please come and join us. But also, if you'd like to, longwalkhome.com.au, sign up, get people to sponsor you. We're trying to raise money in order to be able to continue our work, and also our mission is about creating community with no us and them. If you can make it to Parramatta Park on that night, come and join us, and let's walk together, and hopefully we can create a world where no one has to sleep rough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, that's, I always say 1111 means community is our superpower, and the Wayside Chapel adds to 11, adds to 74, which is synchronicity and personal growth and a place where everyone can be equal. So we're going to wind up now. So this is Seriet with Pastor Jon Owen from the Wayside Chapel. And I just look forward to future updates, and thank you for letting me into this incredibly sacred space that you've helped to create and continue to facilitate. Obviously the spirits chose you, because it's not a normal job.
It certainly isn't.
Perfect for a 7, quirky 7s. Okay, gotta go. See you next time, everyone. I'll put the links below. Bye.